What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, SnowBikeMike, back with your daily gaming hype report. Today is Wednesday, November 6, 2019, and here are the top gaming headlines that you need to know about. Remember, if you like any of the stories that I bring to you today, please go to the articles directly and support those incredible games journalists around the globe. Story links can be found in the show description below, so let's get into it. Here are the top 3 stories that you need to know about. Story number 1. Merging Overwatch 1 and 2 was a hard sell, but the right move, says director. This story from GameSpot.com by James O'Connor. The story reads, Overwatch 2 is an unusual sequel in that a lot of the new content it introduces, including new characters, maps, and PvP modes, will also be added to the original Overwatch on all platforms. Overwatch 2 will feature an exclusive campaign mode with PvE combat and a story that will delve deeper into the series lore, but if you're just playing Overwatch for the PvP experience, you won't miss out on anything if you don't upgrade. It goes the other way as well. All cosmetics you've unlocked in the original game will carry over into Overwatch 2. This is not a standard model for a sequel, but game director Jeff Kaplan has told Kotaku Australia that, while it was a difficult decision to make, he believes that this is the model that best benefits Overwatch's player base. Quote, it's very challenging because the industry has done things the same way for so long, he said, and so it's hard to get people, push them out of their comfort zone and say, hey, I think we could do it a better way, end quote. Kaplan said that convincing people at Blizzard to do this meant explaining how it would ultimately benefit their players. Quote, I try to tell them if we do what's right by the players, they will be happy, we will have a better game, and we will end up in a better place in the long run, end quote. He believes that cutting off players from the first Overwatch to, quote, make that game just sort of die on the vine, end quote, is the wrong approach. Quote, I always try to come at things from a player-first standpoint, end quote, Kaplan said. Ultimately, this model will allow Overwatch 1 and 2 to coexist and will allow for crossplay between the two games. Well, isn't this an interesting story right here? I was actually talking about this topic with my editor, Cristian Reyes, last night after BlizzCon 2019. I was kind of at a loss of this shared ecosystem between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. I was of the mindset that if you were going to come out with a sequel, that you would push everybody to that sequel, increase the sales, move everybody to the next ecosystem and next generation of your game. But Cristian actually brought up a really good point, saying, hey, you have such a big player base over on Overwatch 1. Why would you force them all to buy this game that really might not actually be a true sequel in all hindsight? And it looks like Cristian and game director Jeff Kaplan were actually of the same mindset. Really cool and very innovative of this idea right now, where Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 will still share the PvP modes and that ecosystem. So if you're just in it to win it over with Overwatch and the PvP modes, you actually don't have to upgrade to Overwatch 2, as you will still get the new maps, the new characters, and new PvP modes. On the flip side, if you want to dive deeper into the story and the lore with their campaign mode for the PvE combat, then you can upgrade to Overwatch 2. You're going to have all of your cosmetics carry over with you into that sequel, which is really cool, and you'll still be able to play with your friends that haven't upgraded and are still on Overwatch 1. So really a different idea that I've never seen before, something I can't even think of, and I love the idea of sharing this experience from Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. And if you want to upgrade, you totally can. If you don't, guess what? You're not missing out on anything besides that campaign mode. So really awesome. Good on Blizzard Entertainment, and shout out to Jeff Kaplan for the awesome idea. I would love to be in that boardroom as he pitched that idea and seen the people's faces over there making that decision. Story number 2. Cyberpunk 2077 has twice as much Keanu Reeves at actor's request. This story from GameSpot.com by Steve Watts. The story reads, Cyberpunk 2077 got a big reception at E3 thanks to the surprise reveal of the character Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves. The character is actually showing up more than CD Projekt Red originally planned, though thanks to Reeves himself. WCCF Tech reports that at the Luca Comics and Games Festival, voice actor Luca Ward said that his recording time had been doubled thanks to Reeves pushing for Silverhand to have more time. The report, translated from an Italian interview, suggests that Reeves was enjoying playing the part and asked to have a bigger presence in the game. We had previously heard a similar account from senior-level designer Miles Toast about Reeves' affinity for the character and world. Toast said because Reeves is known for cyberpunk-like stories such as The Matrix and Johnny Mnemonic, it was, quote, a very natural match made in heaven. He also said Reeves seemed very passionate about the project and the role he's playing, end quote. Now, this is a story to get hyped about on a Hump Day Wednesday Hype Report. Are you kidding me? Twice as much Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077. I cannot wait for April 2020 to go explore the gritty and dark world of Night City with Johnny Silverhand himself. This is going to be epic, and big shout out to CD Projekt Red for doing the right thing. Putting in more Keanu Reeves. You know where you can't go wrong? Adding in more Keanu Reeves into anything, whether it be a movie, a book, a story, lore, or your big upcoming video game. 2020 can't come soon enough. Johnny Silverhand, guide me to the light of Night City. Keanu, I freaking love you, dude. And now for our final story of your Wednesday Hype Report story, number 3. PlayStation Now library gets Persona 5, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Hollow Knight. This story from IGN.com by Logan Plant. The story reads, PlayStation Now's November update adds Persona 5, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Hollow Knight to Sony's subscription service. Persona 5 and Shadow of War are the latest rotating titles to join PS Now, and Sony's official blog post says they'll be available to stream and download until February 4th, 2020. Sony also shared the most popular PS Now games in October. Grand Theft Auto 5 tops the list, with God of War and Uncharted 4 and Infamous Second Son right behind. Those 4 titles joined PS Now last month and are playable until January 2nd, 2020. Look at the success and check out the moves that Sony and PlayStation are doing right now for PlayStation Now. That subscription service will be getting 3 big-time titles added here in the month of November with Persona 5, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Hollow Knight. I gotta say, I love all 3 of those games, and that really entices me to open up my wallet and sign up for this service. Your 2 rotating titles for the month of November will be Persona 5 and Shadow of War. Remember to go stream or download those games right away, as you will have them until February 4th, 2020. If you like Assassin's Creed and those gameplay mechanics and you love The Lord of the Rings, look no farther than Shadow of War, one of my favorite games of all time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, who doesn't like to fight a whole lot of orcs out there in Middle Earth? And then on the flip side, Persona 5, one of the biggest exclusives over with Sony and PlayStation. Both of those games are available until February 4th, 2020. So you got 3 months right now to go play those games and possibly try to beat them to avoid having to purchase them. And on the flip side, big shout out for the October lineup that had God of War, Uncharted 4, and Infamous Second Son. Those are all killer titles. Those are also available until January 2nd, 2020. So get involved in this service if you're over on the PlayStation ecosystem, because really, Sony and PlayStation are trying to up the value of PlayStation Now. And that will conclude today's Hype Report for Wednesday, November 6th, 2019. It's your boy, SnowBikeMike, reminding you, if you liked any of the gaming headlines that I brought to you today, please go to the show description below. I've left you all the article links there. You can give them a click and support those incredible games journalists around the globe. You have now been caught up for your Wednesday, and you're halfway through the work week and the school week, so keep working hard and keep gaming. I'll see you back here for Thursday. Peace out, gamers.